Hey there everybody, Crazy here, and we have a wild Dead by Daylight news video today. There was a ton of stuff that was officially revealed and leaked, so if there's a particular thing you want to know right off the bat, feel free to skip around, but we'll be sure to get started with all the official stuff first, and then later I'll be sure to give a spoiler warning and go over all the leaks. But yeah, we'll get started right off the bat with the main thing I'm sure a lot of you guys clicked for, and that is the fact that the Nicolas Cage is being added to Dead by Daylight. I know it sounds crazy and it sounds like a joke, but you can see here Dead by Daylight did officially tweet this out, and it is actually a thing. It is worth noting that this was actually leaked beforehand, and that is probably why they ended up posting it today. We see here at Gorgira teased it, and then right after, DBD Leaks posted the full trailer. This was really crazy at the time because we didn't know if it was official yet, and a lot of people thought it was some kind of joke or late April Fool's joke. It was pretty funny. But yeah, anyways, we'll get right off into this trailer, and I'll give some commentary after, so here we go.
There's nothing more powerful than imagination. It can shape the fabric of reality, transforming everything you may think you know.
And we are back! So yeah, we did see the Nicolas Cage in all his glory here. I gotta say the model's really high quality. Of course this is probably just a rendered cutscene here, but I do gotta say they got his likeness down to a T. It's crazy. It is also shown in the trailer that we will see more on July 5th, so stay tuned for that. And this one is a bit of a spoiler, but not too much. We do know that he will be releasing in July, along with the tome. I did think that was worth mentioning because we saw in the trailer him actually speaking, meaning we probably have voice lines for the character, and I personally hope maybe some tome cutscenes of him narrating certain things. I think that'd be really cool. Another interesting thing is that this is actually just the actor Nicolas Cage. We see that he is at a movie set with a director's chair and tons of lights and cameras and stuff. And in the trailer, he's talking about how imagination can become reality and all this and the power of imagination and all that. And it kind of made me wonder, with him being in all these different horror movies, if it's kind of a way for them to have Nicolas Cage bringing all of his movie characters to life in the entity's realm. There's actually some evidence for this, I believe. We see when he is first revealed on the screen, in the background, there's these little checkered walls. To some people this might not mean much, but to me it means a lot. And I do want to say beforehand, a lot of people were thinking this is a teaser for Five Nights at Freddy's because, you know, the checker pattern. I don't think that that's the case. I actually think it's a teaser for a skin for him for Willy's Wonderland. We see him in this movie and he's pretty funny in it. His whole deal in the movie is he doesn't talk, which would be funny if the normal skin has voice lines, but when you put this one on, it disables the voice lines. I thought that'd be pretty funny. And a lot of people are like, oh, but that's probably a different license. He probably doesn't own the rights to it, right? But he actually does. Nicolas Cage owns Saturn Films, which is a production company that makes almost every single Nicolas Cage movie you can think of. I looked up the IMDb, and you can see here, it's so many movies. There's even a longer list, but it was too long to fit in a screenshot. And it includes a lot of different movies that I think they could add skins for. One of the main things I saw was Mandy. That's like one of my favorite movies, and I think it would be amazing to have a Mandy skin for Nicolas Cage in the game. Also, I think it would be more of a joke skin, but to have him from The Wicker Man would be amazing.
Oh, no, not the bees! Not the bees! Ah! Oh, my eyes! My eyes! Ah!
I mean, come on, animated bees, like, all over the skin, and him having unique voice lines screaming about bees would be comedy gold if you ask me. But that's just me. Also, we did just see this new movie coming out called Renfield. It would be kind of cool to see him in this creepy Dracula look, just as something different. The other ones I'm going to list I don't think are as likely, but there is movies such as Color Out of Space, Prisoners of Ghostland, Pig even. That one's way less likely because it's not even really horror themed. And lastly, National Treasure. Apparently, according to IMDb, it is owned by Saturn Films, which I'm a little confused by because we see on this screenshot here it says Walt Disney. I don't know if that's a thing where they acquired it later on or not. I'm not too sure how that licensing works. But it would be kind of funny to have that skin in the game, although I do think less likely. Alrighty, and that's basically my whole segment for Nicolas Cage there. We'll go on next to another announcement from Dead by Daylight. Don't worry, no spoilers yet. And right here they posted a tweet announcing that the anniversary broadcast will be happening May 19th now. You know, there was a lot of theories on when this broadcast was going to happen. People are going back and forth and not too sure. And it seems that they are doing it a little early because of these leaks. So yeah, stay tuned for May 19th and I'll show a quick trailer. And we are back. So yeah, pretty cool trailer they put together there. I like all the nods to all the previous DLCs, and we have a Ghostface mask there and the Resident Evil injector thing and tons of cool references there. Pretty cool set. Alrighty, and now we are getting on to the spoiler section. So, if you keep on watching from now on, you will be spoiled for basically the whole next year of Dead by Daylight. There probably will still be some surprises, but the vast majority of the announcements will be spoiled for you if you continue on, just a warning. We'll get started right off the bat with the Year 8 roadmap. So yeah, here's the tweet here. I got this from @Dweet, who we do know is a actual valid leaker because they have leaked a lot of things that turn out to be true, especially you'll see later on here. So yeah, here's the full roadmap here. It is worth noting that the leaked chapter that I've made videos on previously turned out to be true, and we are getting it next month. So that's pretty exciting. And then we see in July there's a single survivor as well as a tome. This survivor pretty much has to be Nicolas Cage with them having this teaser. Then in August we're getting a new killer and a survivor, so a full chapter. In October we're getting another tome. And in November we're getting a single killer. In January, we're getting a single survivor and a tome. In March, we're getting a new killer and survivor. And in April, we're getting a new tome. It is also worth mentioning we're getting multiple events throughout the year here in June, August, October, December, and January. We also see they are going to be working in general on balancing and quality of life improvements. And then below this, we see some other things they're going to be working on. So yeah, we see here they're going to be doing a perk meta rework, which is pretty cool to hear. You know, it's good to make sure all the perks are fairly balanced. Also map balancing, which is also good to hear because obviously there's a lot of maps that for certain killers or even for certain roles such as killer or survivor don't necessarily work as good for those killers or, you know, for survivor side. Also, they are adding anti-camping, which was actually previously leaked in the game files that showed that they were working on some kind of new feature for that. And that's great to hear. You know, it's not great to have your whole match ruined for you just because somebody wants to camp you all day. They're also adding a loadout search bar, which is great to hear because I personally am starting to lose track of all my perks. I have such a big list of them that just to equip a single perk is so hard to find them. It's crazy. You go through a huge list of them. Also, we see here it says survivor disconnect bots. I'm not too sure exactly what that means. I'm assuming whenever someone disconnects, a bot's going to be replacing them, Which, if that's the case, that's actually pretty good idea. Because, you know, playing as killer, it does kind of suck when someone DCs and it kind of ruins all your points and stuff because you don't get to get the hook points and everything. They are also adding player cards. I assume this is like a customizable like in-game profile thing where you can like have banners and stuff that you can equip, but I'm not too sure what that exactly means. And player report feedback. So yeah, pretty cool stuff, and I'm very excited. So yeah, now we're going to go in depth on some of the things on this actual roadmap. So apparently the November chapter that is going to be a single killer is going to be licensed. We also see @Dweet posting about this, and they're saying here there will be around 5 different licenses in the game. 3 paragraphs will release this year, 2 survivors and 1 killer. The first paragraph will be Nicolas Cage. A lot of stuff we already knew, but it's just cool to see it broken down in this way. It is also cool to see we're getting a lot of licensed content in this game. I mean, I'm very excited. And then next up, we have the full leak for Chapter 28. And this is great to hear because, as you can see here, it is The Singularity and Gabriel Soma as leaked previously. So yeah, it's cool to see here. It looks like a space map and a creepy robotic like alien killer. We also see here that they posted a trailer for it that got leaked. So yeah, I'll show that trailer really quick.
It wasn't programmed to harm the crew. It was supposed to help us build a safer home, but something happened. It became self-aware. It has no empathy. It doesn't feel pain. It learns at an impossible rate, and it won't stop until we are dead. Or worse.
And we are back. I'm actually very excited. This map looks crazy. I mean, just imagine like Michael Myers on this map. I mean, little insane to think of, but yeah, it's just wild. I mean, we've never seen a map this like futuristic and different. And yeah, here's a little close-up of the Singularity. And I gotta say, I am crazy about this design. It looks really cool. I mean, just like seeing all the mechanical stuff and the big creepy claw. I also like that it seems to be a whole new rigged animation rather than like reusing old ones. Because they have this weird like leg thing going on with like a skinny robot legs. Super cool design. We also see here a couple more pictures of the map just to see a little more of it. We see here a little area with some rocks and foliage. We also see the hook design, this weird like alien infested hook. We also see some indoor stuff here with this like retro sci-fi computer. And we also see some more of this infested spore stuff here as well. Alright, and that's it for Chapter 28. Now we're going to go on to some leaked licensed skins. We'll start off here with a collaboration actually. We'll bring this up. We see here that @Dweet posted this tweet here. They say, iconic video game artist Ikumi Nakamura, sorry if I butchered that name by the way, will be collabing with Dead by Daylight this year. She is best known for her work on The Evil Within and Ghostwire Tokyo. This is crazy to hear. You know, a lot of people have been talking previously about like a Evil Within collab, and maybe this brings forth the possibility of that as well. But yeah, we'll get on to the actual skins that she is working on. So yeah, we see @Dweet posted this here. By the way, the Naughty Bear thing is not a part of this. We will get onto that later though. Very cool stuff with that. We see a Oni skin. This looks really cool. He has like candles on his head and like flowing robes. We also see a skin for Legion. This one's really cool as well. It definitely gives like the Ghostwire Tokyo vibes. And then we see here what I believe is a skin for Yui. I believe this because you can see her armband she has on all of her skins. On her leg is that little pink ribbon there. This one's pretty cool. It's a little more of an alternative look. And then we'll get on to the other skin included in that tweet, and that is the Naughty Bear skin for the Trapper. This looks insane. I don't know how they're going to fit this in the game. By the way, if you guys do not know, this is from Naughty Bear the game. It is actually Behavior's game that they've made previously before Dead by Daylight. So it's really cool to see them actually included as a skin. We of course have the charm that's already in the game. So it's great to see, the full actual skin in game. And next up, a lot of metal fans are going to be very excited for this. There's going to be 2 different major bands that are being added as skin collections in the game. And that is going to be Slipknot and Iron Maiden. People included in this skin collection will apparently be Hyunjin Lee, Jeff Johansson, and Ghostface apparently. I don't know if I'm reading that right, but that'd be very crazy if Ghostface is getting a skin for this collection, because that would mean it's a double licensing situation, which I don't believe we've ever seen before. And with them leaking this, I wanted to give my ideas for what I think these skins could be and for who it could be for. So first up here, we'll get started with Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden has a lot of different characters associated with their band. I'm not too familiar with Iron Maiden, but I do know for a fact that Eddie the Head is one of the big major characters. And as you can see from this picture here, this looks a lot like Jeff Johansson, and I think that could mean this could be a skin for Jeff Johansson. So that'd be cool to see. Also for Slipknot, we do know they also have a big, vast number of characters who also oftenly change their mask out, which adds a lot of different possibilities for skins. It does help narrow it down that recently Slipknot did collab with Smite, and this makes me believe that all the skins you see here are high possibilities for skins in Dead by Daylight. So starting off here, I think the most obvious thing we're gonna have to get is going to be a skin for Corey Taylor. He is obviously one of the big main members of the band, and I think it would be this mask here. It's the one that they added in Smite, so it makes sense. I do also want to quickly mention, I think it'd be pretty cool to see this mask here that is actually made by Tom Savini. As for the Ghostface skin, if I am reading that right, meaning that there's going to be a Ghostface skin associated with this, the only band member I could find that worked for either of these personally would be Mick Thompson from Slipknot. Because as you can see, their metal mask does kind of vaguely fit the shape of Ghostface's mask. As for Hyunjin Lee, I'm not too sure what skins could work for her. I do not believe Slipknot has any female band members, and Iron Maiden might have a couple characters that are female, but I'm not too sure. Anyways, that's everything for all the band skins. We'll get started next up with the Artist of the Fog collection. So yeah, pretty cool stuff here. This is actually going to be made by community artists that Behavior hired. For context here, this is the tweet where they announced this earlier. It's basically a opportunity for artists in the community to get paid by Behavior. And by the way, this is not associated with the community skins where you can vote for them. This is actually a different thing going on where they're actually basically being hired to make skins for them. It's a little different. Anyways, we'll do a quick deep dive into these skins. We have a skin for Felix. We also have a skin for Huntress, and this one looks very strange. I'm trying to break all this down. It looks like some kind of amalgamation of different like animal parts and stuff. It's pretty cool. And we also have a skin for the twins. This seems to be some kind of like tree overgrowth type of skin where there's going to be like flowers and stuff growing off of them. Pretty cool. And then we also have another skin for Hyunjin Lee. Pretty cool stuff. And just to quickly mention, we do have a banner for the Twisted Masquerade event. We did kind of figure we were getting this, but it's good to know. Looks like the artist is featured in this as well, so maybe we could get a skin for the artist. It's also quickly worth mentioning that there's currently a hotfix that has the perks on the side of your character so you can see them even when your tab is closed. So that's pretty cool. This is something in the main menus, by the way. Alright, and now that we're done with all the things that are leaked inside of the game, there's actually some things leaked outside of the Dead by Daylight that we play. There's going to be 2 brand new games connected to Dead by Daylight's lore made by different developers. So we see here that Supermassive Games is going to be making a single player game. This is going to be pretty interesting because if you don't know, Supermassive Games made games like Until Dawn and The Quarry, which does open the possibility of some crossovers maybe for them. And I'm a big fan of their games. I think seeing a game in the style of The Quarry or Until Dawn focused around Dead by Daylight lore is going to be really cool. And there is also another game being made by Midwinter Entertainment. We'll give a quick little synopsis of this. The developers say, "Our vision is multiplayer PvE experience. Instead of facing against each other, up to 4 players can team up, enter another of the entity's realm, and take on a host of deadly enemies that occupy it." So this seems to be some kind of co-op game where you team up and fight off against different monsters and stuff. And it's going to be very interesting to see. I'm still not too sure exactly how this is going to work out, but it definitely sounds intriguing. By the way, it is quickly worth mentioning that Midwinter Entertainment is a behavior company. They were bought out by them, and they are actually made up of a former group of Halo developers, which I thought was pretty interesting. And that is basically everything. I hope you enjoyed all the leaks. If you liked the video, a like would be much appreciated. And also a subscribe would be very awesome. Anyways, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and as always, stay safe in the fog.